Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's been a long time since I've stood in front of a congregation. What's 220? Probably 11 years. So I'm honored to be here. I'm going to set everything up. And I'm going to try to remember that my computer does not have a touch screen. So, okay. I'm going to talk about the mother in us all. Yes. Is that better? Okay. If I fade, just let me know. Scream at your loudest. Speak louder, please. This take on motherhood was actually inspired by Frank Zappa and his Mothers of Invention, because when I was a teenager watching him, I realized you don't have to be a female to be a mother, and that one of the core issues of motherhood is being able to create. So, necessity is the mother of invention was given to us by Plato, so it's been around for a very long time. And mothers are everywhere. They're doing everything. And there are so many factors that are attached to the concept of mother. And then there's the cultural insistence that mothers are only female, that men or any other gender identity cannot mother. But is this true? I've created a list of words most often associated with the word mother and of the role that someone who is a mother experiences or possesses. I'd like to take a little journey into mother, and I'd like you to join me. So please all sit well in your seats, allowing the ease to accompany you. If you'd like to, you can close your eyes. Next, let's take a breath in and then let it go. Take a slightly deeper breath. Hold it for a bit. Then release it. Take another breath in. And hold it. And my computer has died. I'm going to try to get it up. But in the meanwhile, please continue breathing, finding deeper comfort where you sit. Take a deeper breath. Hold it for a slightly longer period of time, then release it. And as you exhale, allow all your questions to sail away in that breath. Allow your body to relax. And now return to breathing at a normal pace. And allow what I say to awaken your understanding of the mother in you. For mothers are advocates. They are affectionate. They are benevolent and caring. They are compassionate, creative, dedicated, devoted, empathetic, and fair. They hold great fondness. They forgive. They are gentle and gifted and possess goodwill. They are gracious, humane, imaginative, innovative, intuitive, inventive, kind, liberal, loving, maternal, and motherly, nurturing and obliging, passionate, progressive, protective, receptive and resourceful, strong, tender, thoughtful, and tolerant, warm, and a warrior, holding space and place and time for those they love, and always willing, and sometimes not. Mothers are everywhere. The goddesses of ancient and modern religions provide a blueprint for what a mother should be. And now take one last breath in and allow all those words to integrate. And also remember that for every good word, there's a dark word, and that mothers possess both sides. Devi is the great mother of the Hindu pantheon. She represents the amalgamation of all the forces associated with the female divine, and is worshipped in three manifestations as both the life giver and the life taker. As an embodiment of both creation and destruction, she becomes Dudra, a beautiful 18-legged tiger-riding warrior. And then we see Kali, the destroyer face of the creator goddess, her shadow sides. Kali and Dudra symbolize the full spectrum of feminine power, nurturing, protective, and fearsome. This is a poem by Amy Chan called My Mother Says. My mother sings like a bird on a winter's day. My mother, whose grace catches light on the water, on her changing face. But if I am the bird and she the sea, I sing because she flows through me. And now we have Gaia. Gaia was around long before the Greeks adopted her as their earth goddess, as their fertility goddess. She was the very first personification of earth. She is what all Mother Earth figures are born from. And then there's Coatlique from the Mexican ancients. The story is that a woman named Coatlique tucked a ball of feathers into her bosom, which caused her to become pregnant. Enraged by this miraculous conception, Coatlique's offspring conspired to kill her. Not a nice thing to do to your mother. However, a traitor among them alerts the unborn Huitzilopochtli, who then bursts forth from Coatlique, fully armed, and defeats his siblings and rises to be venerated as the god of war and the patron deity of Mexico. Motherhood was so deeply valued by that culture that childbirth was literally likened to the battlefield. Women were, in fact, given a toy shield and spears to hold while in labor. And at the moment of birth, the midwife let out a war cry, writes Karen Olson, who is an expert on women in ancient America. They also said that women who died in childbirth were honored in the same manner as the warriors who fell in battle. And another poem by Dante di Stefano. Mother's Day Unsonnet. To think that I was once a germ of light in the belly of another being, and that this fact is unremarkable in the vast plot of human existence, renders me heavy with the headiness of so much unsaying, and to reflect on the fact that it's difficult to praise in a single sentence sonnet, the guise of the first miraculous animal, the new animal of my own body, was once tethered by a cord of meat and need, and how by snipping this tie, a deeper chord sounded from the organ of my own mouth, my first sacred wailing, and how the world splits open every time a son tries to tell his mother simply, "Thank you for this one strange and shining life." Back to the goddesses. Nuwa is the Mother Earth goddess of ancient China. Nuwa needed yellow earth to fashion human beings. She drew a cord through the earth's furrow and lifted out human figures. Aristocrats rose from the fine yellow soil, whereas lacking the strength to complete her task, she formed commoners from the cord's furrow of coarse brown mud. So even way back then, we had class distinction. Nuwa's divine status may have validated a vision of feminine power rooted not in domination, but in creation, nurturing, and healing. Female woos, or spirit healers, are mentioned as far back as the 3rd century BC. These women play a vital role in the healing practices, gathering medicinal herbs and performing ceremonial rituals to aid the sick. And of course, we have Eve, given to us by the Old Testament, or the First Testament, or whatever you want to call it, the Torah, however it exists in your life. We do know about Eve and her curiosity, her hunger for knowledge, her thirst for discovery, her disobedience, from a male perspective, is what caused awareness, which was represented by shame, again, a man's idea, and deserving of punishment. And Eve became the mother of the human race, and the wife of Adam, and the mother of Cain and Abel. And here we sit today. So I tried to write a poem about Eve. I'm going to share it with you, because I have a different take on her role. It's called Eve's Journal Entry Number 1. I climb your tree of knowledge to pluck the fruit that dangles from your limbs. In my hand it ripens. Placing it between my lips, I suckle the juices that seep from it. Feedback for Eve, okay. In my hand it ripens. Placing it between my lips, I suckle the juices that seep from its flesh, allowing myself the nourishment of joy. Ecstatic with discovery, my bliss draws me closer to Eden. Now, in a more modern take, we have Jungian psychology and the mother archetype, which is associated with qualities such as nurturing and love and compassion and protection. It's often depicted in myths and stories and religious traditions as a symbol of the feminine principle, representing the qualities of fertility, creativity, and abundance. He saw it as an important aspect of the individuation process, which is the journey towards self-realization and wholeness. It can represent the individual's own inner nurturing and caring qualities, regardless of gender, as well as the influence that their mother or other maternal figures had in their life. However, Jung also warns there is a dark side. The mother archetype has a negative aspect, such as the potential for possessiveness, dependency, and enmeshment. In some cases, individuals may struggle to separate themselves from the influences of their mother or to establish their own sense of identity. And now another poem by Kim Dower. It's called, I Wore This Dress Today for You, Mom. Breezy, floral, dancing with color, soft, silky, flows as I walk, Easter Sunday, and you always liked to get dressed, go for brunch. Maybe there's a good movie playing somewhere. Wrong religion, we were not churchgoers. But New Yorkers who understood the value of a parade down Fifth Avenue, bonnets in lavender, powder blues, pinks, hues, of spring, the hope it would bring. We had no religion, but we did have noodle kugel, grandparents, dads who could fix fans, reach the china on the top shelf, carve the turkey. That time has passed. You were the last to go, Mom, and I still feel bad I never got dressed up for you like you wanted me to. I had things to do, but today in LA, hot the way you liked it. These little birds you love to see flitting from tree to tree. I just saw one, a twig in its mouth, preparing a bed for its baby. Might still be an egg. I wish you were here. I've got a closet filled with dresses I want to show you. And so we have an understanding of how mother is seen, but we also have a realization that all of those words that I listed belong not only to mothers, but belong to all humanity, and that every single person possesses them at some point in their life. I'm going to read one more poem, and then I'm going to ask you all to do something. This was another attempt at writing a poem of tribute to a matriarch in my family. And it's called Grandma's Candlesticks. Standing on the top shelf, guardians of my heritage, heavy-footed brass Sabbath candlesticks grew gray as ghosts. Tarnished protectors of souls anointed by harbor spray, salting their dreams of freedom, so vital that the past, lacking mouth-to-ear resuscitation, expired. Grandma used to light these candlesticks every Friday, I was told, while incanting prayers that I would never know, prayers of promise, prayers of hope. Last night as sun set, I took them from the shelf. I polished them tenderly, exercising the pallid hues of age, veiling the knowledge I longed to possess. Each soft swabbing lifted traces of Poland, pogroms, sailings across the sea, push carts, Park Ridge, New York City, poverty. Fricassee stewing on the stove, its sweetness blessing the air. Stuffed derma baking in the oven, its earthiness wafts as the door is pulled open. Braided challah sprinkled with poppy seeds waits to be broken, opening the Sabbath to bring all back to the beginning. Grandpa pungent from dead chickens hanging in his butcher shop window, reddened sawdust still clinging to his cuffs. He sits at the kitchen table, muttering into his glass of hot tea with lemon, the tall spoon clinking interruptions, and I watch her perform in the corner outside her bedroom door, red head covered with ecru lace, blue eyes closed gently, her short, squat body swaying back and forth, back and forth, the murmurs expanding her faith as she strikes the match, lighting the world with her love. And now, men and women alike, I offer you the opportunity to turn to somebody and thank them for being a mother. And now I am done. I've given you my take on motherhood, its history, and how it requires a new sensitivity, expanding the meaning of the feminine divine to encompass all. And I open the floor to you.